Hello, everybody. I believe I'm live with you today on Always Connected. Thanks for joining me. If you're live, I know it's a podcast, but we do this on YouTube live by video first. And today's topic is all about trust. Do you want to trust your inner guidance, but you just need proof? Well, hopefully today will take away that need. I'm going to talk for a little while about the topic, and then I see about 8 people waiting in the waiting room to get in, and I'll interact with each of you and my guide, Sanaya, about today's topic, and we'll just see where it goes. That in itself, this whole show is a demonstration of trust because I have no idea what y'all are going to talk about, but we trust spirit and the guidance that's going to flow implicitly. I thought I would just start with an example of the trust that I've developed in spirit and in that inner guidance over the years that I've been tuning into spirit. And that is that exactly 2 months ago today, Ty and I, my husband Ty and I, arrived here in Marana, Arizona, our new home. We moved all the way across the country from Hilton Head, South Carolina, a total change in climate and topography and lifestyle. And why did that come about? Because not even 2 months prior to the move, I was out here in Tucson for a screening, a live screening of our documentary, Wolf's Message. And I arrived here staying with a friend, Patty and Charlie, friends Patty and Charlie, in this canyon. And I looked around and I saw thousands of these saguaro cactuses. I have my saguaro necklace on today, thanks to my wonderful team of assistants, a welcome gift from them. I looked around me and I had this inner knowing, we're supposed to live here. And the very next day, I looked at property. Ty was back. Where was he? In Idaho with our dogs. And I said, Ty, I'm looking at property. And he said, okay, because he trusts me. And the very next day, found this house, knew it was meant to be. In fact, when one of the movers came in, they saw where my gongs are in this little alcove. She said, this house was meant for you. And I said, I know, there are other reasons why. But the very next day we made an offer. The day after that, we put our house in South Carolina for sale. And the next day had an offer and accepted it. It just went like that. That is called flow. When you know, you know. And we just trusted this inner knowing. It was like crazy to make a whole complete move. We thought we were going to be in South Carolina for a long time. And here we are. But I'll tell you before we move on to the topic, this is totally on topic. We were signing the closing documents for this house, buying it, finalizing the deal. We're going to move in the next day. And Ty, as he signs the final paper, looked at the agent and said, wow, I can't wait to actually see the house. And she looked at him and she said, you haven't seen it yet? And he said, no, I trust her. And I know that's because we resonate with each other. He just has come to know that when I make decisions, it's based on listening within, tuning into the body's signals, tuning into guidance that flows through us, and knowing when to act. And so let me start the actual sharing part of this. For those of you new to the Always Connected program, it's a pretty new format and it's going well. I'm just going to do a few minutes of sharing, then I'll bring in members of the Awake and Wake community. You don't have to join anything. You are a member if you're here. And then we'll talk into a bunch of questions. And at the end, we'll have what we're calling the wild card moment, where I don't exactly know what we're going to do, but it's going to be guided by spirit, either a practice or a guided meditation or some other way to finalize this topic of, here, let me put it on the screen, learning to trust without proof. So that's how today's going to go. So let's see, I'll just change. I'm sound engineer, slide engineer, every engineer here today. I love this format because it allows me to free my staff to do whatever they want to do. They don't have to be here helping me. I got the greatest helpers in the world on the earthly side and in the spirit realm, and so do you. So learning to trust that guidance from your team and spirit and from your own higher self first comes with understanding these bodies are wired to doubt, to check out, to verify, to need proof. Why? Because from the very first time humans walked this earth, there was this need to preserve the body, to preserve the experience. The soul came into human form for the experience of walking on this earth and for all that that would provide, the ups and the downs. And so, happily, we have built into our systems that keep us safe. And at the same time, we're souls, absolutely connected to all other souls and to the whole field from which the guidance arises. I'm coming to know more and more, and my teaching is morphing this way slowly, that there's no one source that's omniscient. The field itself has the potential for anything to arise, but that wisdom, that guidance is arising with and as all of us in the moment. We're not actually tapping into a database where the exact answer we need already is. It unfolds as we come into resonance with all of the patterns around us that we are co-creating as souls. So I'm going to be diving into that more and more in everything I do, but coming to trust that we are one aspect of this totally connected field is the goal. So how do we get there? First, by noticing when we're in only human mode, when we're doubting, when we're clenched and tight, breathing more shallowly, and then reminding yourself, there's a part of me that is beyond the body. There's a part of me that is eternal. And you know, that part of you knows this and is trying all the time. Here are my guides. They just said, watch that word try. The soul doesn't try. The soul just shines its light. So that light is shining consistently, but it gets clouded over by the body's systems, thoughts, beliefs, feelings. So when we can learn to pause and say, what if I let my light shine, and then listen and notice what guidance is here, there's a difference. We expect inner guidance to be like fireworks. Sometimes it is when we truly will benefit from hearing something specific. But most of the time, the guidance is just present in the unfolding moment as you come into resonance with higher vibrations. What does that feel like? It feels like openness. It feels like a catch. It feels like a very subtle, pay attention to this. I was walking this morning from the kitchen to this room for my daily meditation, in which I receive the daily message from Sanaya. I hope you all have the Awaken Way app. It's free. And I was snagged on the way by a little niche that's beside our front door. And I just bought a crystal at the Tucson Gem Show to put there. And this light was shining down on it. And I stopped, and I didn't just pause. I stopped and I just noticed why I was snagged. And that light was above it, and the crystal was illuminated, but I couldn't see the shaft of light. I've seen it in a photograph. And so I tuned in the moment. What guidance comes with this snag? And it was that this light that is you shines, and all others are these columns of light as well, even if you can't see it. Spirit illuminates you as a human being. And so I moved from that awareness of, that was pretty cool, just a little tuning in the moment, unexpected. And I sat in the chair behind me and sat to meditate. I wish you could see the photo I had to snap in the moment of my dog, Nellie, half in and out of her bed, comatose. We call it dogatonic because the energy's so good in here. And anytime you sit in silence and connect with spirit, you're creating this beautiful energy field so that you can notice and trust spirit more. And the message that came is today's Daily Way message was today, February 8th. So you can go to February 8th at dailyway.org as well to find it. And it was all about the need to clear your energy field when you mingle with a lot of people all the time. And I had just been to a wonderful cocktail party 2 nights ago, but I never cleared my energy. And yesterday I was a little off balance all day, should have noticed and should have done something about it. Yes, I'm shoulding all over myself right now. The guides just said, notice that. But in this case, it's correct. If I had noticed, I would have received better guidance, and I was a little off balance. So the practice that I did is called the 10-minute transformation. It's on YouTube. And it starts with sitting or visualizing yourself in a shaft of white light, just like I'd been snagged on the way here. That turned into today's daily message. You see the web at work. And so learning to trust is noticing subtle signals, subtle, as well as the fireworks, and pausing and listening. This is a habit and that we get into. It's not just this one time, oh, there was a great bit of inner wisdom. It's a habit of flowing, knowing Spirit is with you always. So the problem that many people have in trusting is the guidance often doesn't shout at you, and it's not the same every time. We like our repeatable things. And so, okay, thank you. The guides just said that when we learn to simply allow ourselves to be somewhat vulnerable, that's trusting. We want certainty. And when I say we, that's we in human form. We need to know that I can act on this. But trust isn't blind faith. This is huge. It's following the inner knowing that we are part of an intelligent field that will guide us when we listen. And it's allowing ourselves to be vulnerable enough to not need proof. And then acting. When we tune in, we receive a nudge or a subtle guidance, and it feels right. It feels aligned and balanced, open and spacious. You're not tense. And then acting on that, as long as it's not going to be harmful or hurtful to yourself or others. And repeating that process over and over, coming to trust more and more fully because you were willing to be a bit vulnerable. And I don't know that vulnerability ever goes away. Let me check. It may be still under the surface, but it becomes less and less and less. This whole move here to Arizona, I never once doubted it. And it was huge and involved and just a major change. But the inner guidance was so clear. You are meant to be here. And that's because we all go to new levels in our lives. The guidance will change, and our guides and our soul is just waiting for you to listen and trust. It's okay to ask for proof. And the guides are saying, you've said enough now, because more of the teaching that y'all will hear will come through these interactions I'm going to have with those who are in the waiting room. So now we're going to move on to the section where we chat with Spirit and live with members of the community. There's only so much room in my waiting room. The link was in the show notes, so some of you found that. I will ask those of you who come on stage, once we're finished talking, press the remove button. It's red, so that other people do have a chance to come in. If you're getting a notice that there's no room, I'm sorry for that. We'll just do take as many of you as we can. So I'm going to take you in the order in which I see you. And the first person waiting backstage who's coming on with me now is Erin.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks so much for connecting. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't write my question down because it felt like force, so I'm just gonna go with it. And
Very good. Okay.
my beloved dog Deeks transitioned on December 1st, and he is the love of my life. Coinciding to that, I'm actually experiencing an iatrogenic or a medical harm injury to my nervous system, which has affected every branch of my nervous system. And that results in a lot of bodily symptoms in every system, right?
Yes.
So I bring that in to say that it's difficult when you experience a neurological injury because you question yourself a lot and you doubt yourself, right? And your
Yes.
abilities to perceive things.
Yeah.
So his transition process was in a spiritual experience for me. It took me to the depths, but also there were so many incredible teachings, and mainly that I had to be loving and kind to myself in order to provide that loving and spacious environment for him.
Beautiful.
And when he transitioned, I experienced profound grief, but I also, for the first time in a very long time, felt a sense of trust and peace and love and safety that
Wonderful.
felt like home.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah. And then there were a number of synchronicities that occurred that were really extraordinary. It was like my antenna kind of changed.
Yeah. So Erin, I feel the big picture, and because we have so many people waiting, I'm not trying to rush you, but I do need to get to the issue and the question.
Sure. Yep. So how do you trust yourself when you experience those synchronicities, and then they go really quiet, and you might have other health issues that are kind of interfering? Yeah.
You're doing all the right things right now, and your energy field is so loving, and I can tell that you already have a beautiful sense of self. The neurological issues have knocked you off balance, but what I love is that you're not really owning that as who you are. It's like a temporary visitor, and your body simply is adapting to this challenge that it has. You had the signs, and they at first were exactly what you needed. But now this is your opportunity to say, okay, that showed me what my heart already knows. You know your dog is still with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you may need to find, and what may be helpful to you is an affirmation that I know. Did you say the name is Deeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that Deeks is still here, and talk to Deeks two-way and pause and see what you sense. You may actually hear Deeks speaking to you in English words. Once you realize that that's the way your nervous system will translate the messages from Deeks, that your brain will say, oh, here comes a message. I hear what Deeks is saying in English. How cool is that? You can sit and actually ask to have conversations just like you would with a loved one across the veil. And it's the presence, it's the knowing. When you carve out time to sit and say, let's just chat, that will help you know that that connection is still there. Now, as far as the physiological challenges you're having right now, the beautiful thing is that the state from which we make a connection with higher consciousness, be it pets or loved ones or guides, angels, is our base state beneath all of the brain's functioning, beneath the body's processes. So continue practicing carving out time for silence, breathe slowly and deeply, and set aside the thoughts for just a few moments. And in that time of just being, invite your pet, or all of you listening, your loved one, to merge with you in awareness. You're creating the right, I'm getting the word from my guides here, the right state within your physiology so that you come into a state of coherence. And the challenge that you're facing is that you are having the experience of more incoherence than normal lately. But that coherence is always present beneath the body. So just with breathing practices and intention and setting the time aside, Practice regularly, every day, just a nice conversation with your pet. And you will know in your heart through the presence that your dog is there with you. And you won't need the proof, because your heart and the feeling there, what you sense, is all the proof you need. How's that?
Thank you.
Helpful? Hope so. Okay. All right. You're welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. All right. Ooh, I know so many of us can relate to the fact that when our pets cross, grief is grief. Grief is grief. So luckily for all of us, the same processes that we use to connect with any loved one across the veil, like I said, applies to our pets. All right. The next person I see coming on as we talk about learning to trust without needing proof, Brenda, here you come. Hi.
Hi. My heart is being fast.
I know the feeling. A nice deep breath. Oh, look, may I stop you a second? You just did exactly what my husband does. So everybody, when we talk about deep breath, the inhale is good, but the exhale is even more important. So let's all exhale with me. Out.
Yeah.
Wow. See? Better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't do this.
That's it. That's Thai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you kind of helped the previous question. And it's funny because this has to do with me moving, and you started out with a story about how you were outside and you knew you were to move. My son passed away a year and a half ago, and I'm in the house, that I raised him and my daughter, and it's become, I feel I have it's time for me to move closer to my daughter, just across town. And we found her a home, and it's just like you said, all these things fell into place. And we knew when I was walking up the steps to her home, and in the spare bedroom, which is going to be mine, was a swallowtail butterfly. And that was the first sign my son sent me. So now, but trying to apply all this to myself and fear, I look on Zillow, and I think it might be just relaxing, but then I think, should I just go out in the car and drive around neighborhoods, or how do you because I battle with my mind about the pros and cons.
That's exactly what happens. It's a battle with the left brain, and so I hope that it's helpful to you and to everybody listening to say, oh, that's the program.
Okay.
So this, even using words like a battle and I can't do this and decide, when you realize that's the brain's program and you acknowledge it, truly everybody take on this phrase, that's the program. Aha. Now, can you feel how that allows you to relax a little?
Mm-hmm.
Now, where did this is a rhetorical question. Where did that idea to just get out and drive around come from?
It kind of came from you when you said you were outside and you were the cactus. It was like you weren't thinking about moving, but something came to you there. So I thought, well, maybe I need to stop sitting in this house and just get out there and see if I get feelings.
And what I'm getting at is that idea hadn't occurred to me, but it arose in your awareness because it's a great idea.
Yes.
You see, that came from the field, and it feels very true to me that it's happened because the house is out there with a for sale sign. And by you just going out with this curious, open-heartedness, the spacious, instead of, oh, I don't trust myself. What if I don't find anything? Just this, what if I just drive around, and what if I trust spirit enough to guide me down the right streets? What a practice in trust. And I'm reminded of the time that Ty and I, when we lived in Central Florida, had wanted to change homes in the community we were in. And we were out riding our bikes, and all of a sudden I was snagged by a for sale sign that had not been there before. And so I truly feel that and we did end up moving into that house. I feel that idea came to you because that's how spirit spoke to you and is going to.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it was because when you said that, I saw like you out with the cactus. I thought, oh, maybe I just need to get out of here. So you didn't have to talk to me. You just said it in the beginning.
There you go. So what I want you to do is ultimately when you get out and drive around and you find that house and it all comes together, which it will, send an email through the contact page on my website so that we can let everybody know how it worked out.
I sure will.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show, and good luck.
I love your show, and you've helped me so much the last year and a half since my son passed. Thank you.
Grateful. Thank you. And I just want to do a shout out to Erin. I can tell that my shortening her and asking her to answer please get to the question just for expediency's sake. Could you feel the change in energy? And I apologize. I was trying to do it gently, but just facilitate moving things along. But we hopefully gave an answer that helped Erin and everybody else. Okay. I can see, I'm going to try this. I have somebody named Antonia waiting in the room, but I don't see a camera. So we'll see. There, she's there. Okay, great. Antonia, we gotcha. Welcome to Always Connected. Okay, somehow I don't hear you. Let's try that again.
If I turn the mic on, it might work.
That would help. And I love that sign on the wall behind you, the mural, believe.
Yes, I believe in magic. I live in the world of magic. And, my mom just passed away in September. And I had the honor of hospicing her in my home. Even though our relationship wasn't the best, I had a year and a half to get things straight with her as she made this transition.
What a blessing, huh?
Yes. Yeah. But here is the thing. Ever since she transitioned, a lot of spiritual things have opened up for me. And I see spirits around me. I see things moving. I mean, it's a lot. And the only thing I've asked is they don't scare me. If you don't scare me, we good. If you scare me, I'm done. I quit. Because I've been scared my whole life.
Okay.
And I just refuse to be scared anymore.
Nice.
Okay. So kind of what I was told since she's passed away is that the more that I trust myself, the more my gifts will come online, the more things open up.
That's true.
So as long as I realize it's about self-love, it's about knowing my worth and knowing that I'm worthy of the gifts that are being given to me, which I've just discovered I've had all my whole life.
I hope you come to see yourself the way I do, and hopefully everybody else does. This gorgeous light. This is how your soul knows you. So please continue.
So it has just been, it's not only her, there are many spirits that are coming by. I walked her to her because she was really afraid.
So what is your issue?
My issue is, well, it's not an issue, but what I would like is to be tuned in more and to be open.
Okay. The issue is very clear to me. And I love it because how many people out there, raise your hand, would just love to be in Antonio's situation and see the spirits, right? And know that they're here. And you said it yourself. You refuse to be afraid. Can you feel the energy in refusal? That's saying I'm going to put up a wall to fear. And that's a block. So if all is needed here is to just change from refusal to, I know there's nothing to be afraid of. And if I experience fear, I'm just going to shine my gorgeous light all over it. And now you've blocked that refusal and got the goosebumps. And the fear just dissolves. And now when the spirits come in, you can check them out and you can say, and it's like, hey, Mom, we have nothing to fear anymore. Look at our new relationship. Isn't this awesome? So it's just noticing that the fear was still there and you'd compartmentalized it. So it's a matter of coming to peace with the fact that fear is also part of the programming. And we just say, okay, gotcha. I acknowledge that. Now I'm just going to shine my light. And the darkness goes away when you turn that light up. How's that?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you too.
Have fun with those spirits. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming on the show. All right, everybody. This topic today again is, here we go. Learning to trust without proof. Here's my little note that if you are enjoying the show, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and click the little button that says notify me. We put up new videos midweek, and also you'll get a notification so you don't miss our live show every Sunday. Okay. So here what we're doing is we're chatting with Spirit and with our community members now for a while, but stick around because at the end we will have a live spontaneous guided practice to help all of us come to trust a little more. So who's next here? Let me see. I want to put my glasses on and scroll down because there was a gentleman in the waiting room for a long time and he went away. Huh, too bad. Well, let's see. We have Sinaya, not Sanaya, Sinaya. How about that?
Sanaya. Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. So my question is this. I work as a psychotherapist and I do a lot of spiritual work with clients, and I have a lot of psychic stuff and mediumship and that comes through me beautifully. By the way, this book changed my life. But a question came to me when I work with people. I talk about the soul versus the human, and how like we know that the soul beyond time and space is aware of the exit. People talk about a lot of things with me, like drug addiction and suicide and ODs and things like that. So I talk about how there's the soul planning. But now I'm confused when the word you brought in the word omniscient into discussing. It doesn't know, even the guides don't know, the whole shebang. So I went into meditation because I had a little rattle in me. I got really good information, but I do need help with understanding. Was I correct, or how do we bring the two together? Does the question make sense?
That'll be great. And bring it in and we'll look at that with Spirit.
Oh, you want me to tell you what came? So it was really simple. And
that's your issue, right? To trust what you got.
I would love to hear what. Okay. Yes. So what I got was that the guides are coming from a more limited place than the level of the soul that has that soul planning to come into the body. Lower meaning it's from a more beyond time and space that soul planning comes from. It's a much more aware, more removed from our planet heaviness than where the guides are, the dimension of the guides when they're with us, which I know they're with us. Do you understand how I'm understanding it?
And what I'm seeing is the Spirit says, take that back in and continue to work with it and feel with it, and notice how the left brain is needing to compartmentalize things and turn it into levels instead of just seeing flow and access. Okay. And relaxing more into the answer. What I'm sensing now is understand that your guides have a wider lens than we do when we're in our human bodies. So they don't have all the answers, but they do know all about what's best for us in the moment. So that takes away that need for them to be omniscient. They're here to guide us moment by moment, but they're fully aware of our soul plan because they're here to help us execute it. Okay.
So when people are suffering a lot and talking to me, and I share with them that on the soul level, like we say, the soul knows everything's okay and that you're okay.
That's right.
Do I need to know it's because of the planning, or is that, that soul?
Okay. Yeah. The guides are saying it is often not helpful to know there is a plan. The best thing is to help people trust the moment and the unfolding right here, right now. What has brought you to this point? What is unfolding? What can we tune into within and listen to right now? Because when we know that we're guided from beings who have the wider perspective, the bigger perspective, we trust that instead of worrying, am I on track? Is this part of a plan? What matters is what is going on right here, right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The fluidity. Thank you so much.
Yes. You're so welcome. Thanks for all you
Thank
do
you.
to help others. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. And my guides are saying, take a moment here, because I did prepare a few slides. We have more people we're going to bring in, but they don't want me to miss this. Where are my slides? There they are. We already asked you to subscribe, so please do that. But I do want to remind you that on this topic of trust, we'll put this at the end. I have lots of videos about trust. So when we're done, here's a great one that I recommend for you. You can look it up that way. This video will be posted online. So if you don't have to write this down, you can come back and look at this again. These are short little videos where I share how Spirit made themselves known in beautiful ways that we call them NOEs, no other explanation moments. And if you want to find more videos that help you with specific issues, we have a feature on my website called under video search, where you can enter whatever word you're looking for in the search term, and it takes you exactly to the video. It's even more accurate than going on YouTube and typing in a topic. This takes you to every video I've ever done, perhaps on the topic of trust, and to the exact moment in the video where I talk about trust. Really cool use of technology. Speaking of technology, if I don't get to your question today, go talk to my virtual librarian, Grace. Your questions answered right on my website. It only accesses the 18 years of all of my channel teachings from Sanaya, the transcripts of my books, my courses, all that good stuff there. So let's get back to, I have some more slides I'll show later, but let's get back to the live interaction here. Let's see. There's Sanaya. Okay, and we have Marie next in line in the queue. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Well, feeling the buzz from Spirit.
I was wondering when you first started, I know it's been several years, you're an expert now, but what did you do to like quiet the brain? Like did you listen to like frequency music? Did you, I don't know, what did you do when you first started out? Because
Yes, yeah. It's interesting that you brought up the frequency music, because I had been teaching several of my courses with the Shift Network, and I have a new one coming up. You can learn about it on my website. It starts at the end of this month. But it was several classes in when I realized, wait a minute, one of the greatest tools I used in the beginning, and it had become so much a part of my life that I forgot to mention it, were the binaural beats through hemisync, hemispheric synchronization music. So at hemisync.com, I'll have to put this in the show notes later, you can find 6 of my recordings where Sanaya, my guides, dictated the narration, and then the Hemisync company put these binaural beats in the background, and they've been really shown to be efficient at bringing your brain into a whole brain state, balanced state. And it truly helps the left brain dampen those programs and the right brain come into balance. You barely even notice the frequencies in the background, but even monks who had been meditating for years tried the Hemisync recordings, and in 30 seconds were in the state that they practiced getting into. So once I started asking my students to use the Hemisync recordings, a lot of them noticed a very big difference. So that's pretty cool. So check out the Hemisync, but also just a daily practice of 3 minutes a day. Are you familiar with my sip of the divine?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's not just about being quiet. That's about focus and training yourself to notice the thoughts and let them go. And then this is when the guidance will arise in the space in between. And getting back to our topic today of learning to trust without needing proof, you'll start noticing it and hearing it because you know how it feels. Just sitting in that open spaciousness regularly trains you to be more relaxed, to be open, to not need proof, because the guidance, and this is just a nugget right here, the guidance when it comes with spacious openness, a sense in the body. So really, you called me an expert, and I don't like taking on a title like that, but I would tell you that I trust Spirit so much that I'm happy to model that for other people. But that's come from daily practice. And people say, oh, that's your military discipline, because I'm 20 years in the Navy. But yes, it's discipline, but it's also that commitment to my soul. And all of you who are watching or listening right now have that, or you wouldn't be spending your time on this. So just continue saying, okay, I look forward to getting to that place where I trust you so much that when I feel the guidance, I don't need proof. I know what to do. And please guide me as I'm acting on it. Doesn't hurt to say that too, right? Just be with me as I act and nudge me a little as I go if I need a little more. And then the fact that your life will flow in response to acting on that guidance is all the proof you need, right?
True.
I hope that was helpful. We good?
Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Marie. Thanks for coming on the show. All right. We're working our way through all these lovely souls here. Let me see. I think I see what this name is, but I'm not quite sure. Natalie, you ready to come on the show? Get ready here. Where'd you go? There we are.
Okay.
Welcome to Always Connected.
Thank you. Suzanne, I just have a simple question. How do I know who my spirit guides are? I have been trying to learn their names for years, and I have not gotten that answer.
Well, that's a great one because
let me just say one more thing.
Okay.
I had taken a one-on-one class with Stephen Herman. I don't know if you know who he is.
I've heard his name.
A trance medium. Yeah, he's pretty well known. And I took a one-on-one course with him to try to learn who they are. And he did several things with me, yet I still was not able to learn who they are. And we got to a point where he says, it's not important for you to know who they are. Just trust that they're there. And that's why I tuned in today.
Okay.
I
cannot guarantee you that you're going to leave here contented, but you may have an aha. And that's that human wiring again that needs to recognize a guide, put it in a box, have a name and a category, and be identifiable and replicable. And I was exactly the same way at first. Well, who is Sanaya? Well, we're a collective consciousness of your guides. Yes, but I feel a presence. Who is this? Until my guides gave me the experience of seeing this objective light, meaning it was out there, not in my mind's eye. When I moved my head, this dancing flame-like light stayed there and then danced in front of me. It was an actual experience. And I had to have my teacher, Janet Nohavik, say, that's your guides. Because I was expecting my guides to have form like a human being, to at least look like some robed being or whatever assumption I was making. And I said, oh, they're just this light? And then I felt the presence when that light was with me. And then the light moved in and just merged with me. And I had this, I had this knowing that just took over me right now. You have known us all along. And this is the most important part to understand, that your guides have been with you all along. You know their presence so intimately, but this human side of us needs to know them like the friends they are. And that may not be the way your guides ever show up. I have an exercise on one of my hemisync recordings that we were just talking about. This recording is called Getting to Know Your Guides, where you ask your guides to step out of your energy field and see the difference, because they're always in resonance with us. And when they step out of your field, suddenly you do notice a difference, and then have them step back in one at a time. And maybe you'll see them and maybe you won't. And then you can ask them, what shall I call you? Instead of what is your name? So they'll concede to your human need and desire to have a name, and they'll put a name in your head. But then watch that need for proof. Well, how do I know that's your name? Well, why did it arise? You see, I love that you're laughing and smiling now. If people are listening, they're not seeing that she's having these moments of realizing, yep, maybe I was a little too rigid with the guides. I'm going to play with this. And so absolutely do that with them. And when a name arises, even though this show is about not needing proof, we won't get proof that that's their name, but you can play with them and say, okay, I heard that name. Now, how about showing me that name in a fun, magical way in the next few days? And watch how that pops up. That is really fun. And then you can call them by that name, but they've told us over and over, they don't have names. They're these light beings. And every light has a different vibration, and they know us, and we know them by their light. And you will come to know them by their feel. Oh, that's this guide. I'm going to give you this name because that helps me differentiate you. See, it's just a looser way of being. And you just come to know them as friends, even if you can't identify exactly who they are. I hope that's helpful.
It is. And thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Now you can reach out and email me too and let me know how that plays out and what names they gave you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I remember teaching a workshop in Scottsdale, Arizona years ago, and this lady came up to me on the second day. She said, you led that exercise on the first day, and my guides gave me this ridiculous name. I mean, how was I ever going to hear this name? And she was walking past the TV set that her young daughter was listening, and this cartoon character was on it, and it had that name. See, that shows that the guides knew her daughter was going to be watching that show, or guide. Okay, that's what happened. The guide said they knew the program was going to be on. Her daughter's guides guided her to watch it. She was guided without knowing it to walk through the room at that time, heard it. And can't you just sense all the guides at that time that made that magical moment unfold? And everybody had to act on that inner nudge without knowing they were being guided. Can't you see them celebrating, saying, now they know we're here? So that attitude of playfulness without needing proof will help these moments to unfold moment by moment. And again, it's the practice of trusting and listening. And then how about retroactively looking back and noticing the moments when you were guided but didn't realize it? That really adds to the trust. So let's see. Here's the great name for the program today, Angel. You're on, but you're muted somehow. Do you know how to unmute yourself? There we go.
Hi. Yeah, so I have to say that out of desperation, I wrote to Beverly because I've been so depressed. I could barely see, and there's all these people seeing me. And ever since I lost a vision in the left eye and can barely see out of the right. So here I'm driven now to retina specialist. I've been having these freakish health things happen in the last 2 years after having a reading that's, if I follow the steps, all these great things are happening. And so my question, but I have to say that I can't even believe I'm being seen when I hide, like because I can't see my own face. So if I'm not being driven somewhere, like I'm so dependent on somebody to drive me, and I'm waiting on another surgery.
Well, here you are, Angel. So the issue is,
why are these things happening?
Oh, for your soul who wanted to dive in fully to the human experience, to experience it all and have these moments of total immersion in being alive. You know, what everybody watching you right now sees are these sparkling lights above your head, which is an artifact of whatever light is in your room and the camera. But it's creating this beautiful imagery that, to me, the meaning that I take from that is you're already this sparkling light. The lights are all around you, that your soul is actually experiencing these for the opportunity of growing. And look at what happened today. You went outside your comfort zone. You can't even see, and the world is seeing you. So just in this moment here, your soul is showing everybody that when we take the focus off of, I have to be this way and I can't let the world see me, the lights shine down on us. The lights sparkle down on us, and we help others to shine. I feel like my head is going to burst from this moment. It's just awesome. You see? So it's finding the light in every moment and realizing that even with the pain comes opportunity.
I don't see what the opportunities yet are, because I went from being totally independent and working to just feeling like I want to die.
And we all understand that. The guides say so clearly. And let's let Sanaya speak. And we wish you to understand that at the soul level, you realize that all souls come here for the experience of allowing all lights to shine. And can you see that in needing to rely on others, you are giving others the opportunity to serve you, to find love by exhibiting kindness to you, by driving you. You have had a life where you have needed to be in charge and to be independent. And the very thought of surrendering to others is causing you to experience what you are labeling depression. But what if you were to relabel this depression as simply the discord between your thoughts and what is happening? What if you were to allow others to serve you and see the way that in so doing, you are causing them to have positive feelings? This will engender positive feelings in you and lift you out of this is the way it should be attitude. You are a beautiful soul who came here to interact with others, not for the perfection of the human body, but in seeing the perfection in how one light shining upon another causes all lights to shine more brightly. You are so very loved. I'm praying that the little transmission of energy that came through that will help you to have just a shift in how you view all of this. And today's topic is about trusting that this is unfolding beautifully. I have so many friends right now, and especially Beth Pasakarn is going through just the worst cancer challenges, and yet seeing the gifts in that. But who would take on those gifts at the human level? None of us wish for you to suffer. All of us wish for you to find balance and health, and also to see the gifts inherent in that right now. Okay?
Thanks.
Sending you so much love. Thank you for coming on and sharing that with us. That in itself is just beautiful vulnerability.
Thanks.
Blessings. Wow. Where do we go with this, Spirit? They say to take one more. Okay, today's topic. Oh, okay. They said, let me show you just a couple more slides I had prepared for today. Then we'll take one more person, then we'll do our wild card moment. Okay, so again, if I don't get to your questions, go to SuzanneGiesemann.com, your questions answered, and have fun with that. Every month I do a live webinar, 90 minutes of the latest teaching from Spirit. Big topic this Tuesday night, February 10th, is about manifesting by getting out of the way and what it really means to be present. All along, I thought to be present meant you have to be vigilant and paying attention. But I've had a big aha from Spirit just in the last month about what presence really is. And as a result of that, life is flowing even more. So I'm going to be sharing that this Tuesday. If that appeals to you, right in the show notes is the link where you can register. And I hope you'll join us. It's always an evening of so much love. And Sanaya will channel like we did just a minute ago there. And I'll share the latest evidence from Spirit. Anything else here? No, I think that's all my slides. So we'll get them off the screen. And our last guest, I think we already spoke to some of you. Good. Here's Bill, who was on the stage before, and then I couldn't find him, and I didn't want to miss him. Now I see why Spirit said one more. Bill, I know you were waiting a while. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I have to say this is a wild card experience because I did not intend to come on the show when I first signed up anyway.
Here you are.
So this is a new twist on trust because my wife died 4.5 years ago. 4 years ago, I encountered you. And I've stayed with you until now through your courses. Most of your books I've read and some reread. All your podcasts I watch. And my belief system has changed totally. Anyway, without going into all of that, I will say that I know my wife is fully present with me now.
She is
My
giggling
left brain
now.
knows that.
Yeah.
My left brain is very aware of that through readings, one of which was by you, through signs, dreams. But I've had for quite a while a strong yearning to know her more fully, to be able to converse with her, to know her, if I dare say, as well as you know Sanaya. Now that's a huge mouthful, but in the last month, I've had the feeling, back off, just trust. You know her in many ways now. Trust that I will continue to learn her in new ways. And it may be conversation, who knows?
Okay, Bill, I'm going to interrupt you now, okay? Because I got the big picture. And I'm just, as I started to say there, as you were talking, she's here and she's giggling. I don't mean to diminish this in any way, but she thinks it's so cute the way you have embraced this, because she would have loved this, and she is loving it from across the veil. Now, in the past, I would have needed to throw a piece of evidence at you right now. Luckily, you've already had the reading. You got lots of evidence from your wife. I don't need it anymore. I can feel her. And this is what we want you and everybody listening to move towards, that place of just knowing, as you already do, she's here. And yes, we would love to have two-way conversations, but she just says, talk even more. And she'll do her best to just keep sending you signs and to let you hear her. That will develop. But just understand, you don't need to only sit in periods of stillness to sense her. Talk to her as you're going about your daily way. She says you already do, but do it even more. And that keeps her present in awareness. She's always part of your field. But that will just ratchet up a little bit your sense of the fact that she's here, your trust that she's here, and diminish that need for proof that we're talking about. Okay? She adores you.
Okay, so
That's beautiful. And I love that any man watching Bill is just this beautiful example for all of us of the fact that he trusted all along, right? The left brain, he didn't let it get in the way. So thank you for coming on the show. Okay?
All right.
To everybody else in the waiting room, I'm sorry, but we have gone on quite a while now. We're going to move on now to the wild card moment. And I'm just going to ask Sanaya. Okay, there's my little lip twitch. It's happened a few times here. That's when they're saying, we've got this, just turn it over to us. So what are we doing? A very simple practice, they say, of learning to trust without proof starts with coming to feel how the body feels when you can trust the decision. And so to trust the body requires having a body that's relaxed. If you were tuned in at the beginning, you saw how one of our guests, I said, let's breathe to relax, because her heart was beating fast with excitement. And we had a short little breath. No, the kind of breathing we're talking about to truly relax comes with the intention to relax. And then you breathe in slowly, perhaps to the count of 4. They're slowing me down as we talk. And exhale to 6. That actually, as I said in my book, The Awakened Way, the vagus nerve breath technique, actually triggers the body's relaxation response. Now you're going to be more relaxed, and we're going to guide you through a little practice that the guides are guiding me through. So let's take that nice vagus nerve breath. Notice how you feel right now. Intend to be even more relaxed and breathe in slowly through the nose. In, 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 in. And now out through the mouth. Out, out, relaxing more. Out, out, letting go of any tension. Out, out, out. Now just breathe slowly and deeply as I talk slowly. Scan your body for tension. How does your body feel? I felt a little in my neck there. I'm letting go of that. Just release any tension. And now truly notice how this open spaciousness feels. This is your base state. No matter what physical challenges you're going through right now, you created this state. Hopefully you've done the best you can do. Go to this state when needing inner wisdom. So I'd like you to bring to mind a minor, low risk, low stakes decision that you might be facing in your life now. Even as you bring this up, you may feel a little tension in the belly. Acknowledge that and let it go. A low stakes decision, such as not like, do I quit my job? Do I stay in this marriage type of job decision? That's high stakes. Just a low stakes one about maybe you're doing a dinner party and you don't know what to serve. Something just ordinary. And now know that because whatever issue, I love how the guides are guiding the words here. Whatever issue has been brewing in awareness in the body and in your field, in the mind and from the soul, the conditions, the patterns already exist to give to you the optimal answer. It's not that the answer is set in stone. It's that all of the field is conspiring in a good way for the best possible response for you. Trusting the field, bring that issue to mind and simply ask, what is the best action for me regarding this issue? And now listen. And now notice in your body, compared to that beautiful, relaxed state, guidance is going to feel like lack of resistance. And I love that one of our beautiful guests came on and said, I refuse to feel fear. That is resistance. And we showed you a way to just simply turn that around by releasing it and saying, I'm open to guidance of the highest kind. I shine my light. I'm safe. What is the best move for me? And what we're going for is noticing when the answer comes with no resistance. It is open. It feels right because the soul knows this is my next best move. And so as you experience this openness with an option, as it feels just right to act on it, go out and act on it and see how life flows as a result of that. If you hit a wall, that's the universe speaking to you and saying, perhaps that wasn't the wrong step, but it got you to the next step. So we just repeat this process over and over, pausing, breathing, relaxing, tuning in, asking beyond the mind. As I did that, I moved my awareness down into the belly, centered and grounded. That's the hara, the soul center of you. And now feel the answer that you got in the hara. How does that feel? Does it come with your knowing? Because you left doubt up here. So there we go. I love that you joined us today. Lots of things to think about. Hopefully some little gold nuggets that you want to write down and practice and make it part of your day-to-day living so that we become not experts, but expert practitioners at listening within, tuning within, trusting the guidance. All right, rewind and find those videos on trust that I told you about, or just go out and search for trust on my channel. Meanwhile, I trust, Spirit, that you were brought here for a reason. I hope it helped you today. Where are we going to go here? We'll just get rid of that and go back to, let's have a little bit of closure here. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Just take a nice breath, a refreshing one. Let's all move awareness to the heart. How about a big wave of gratitude to the soul for bringing you here? A wave of gratitude for this community of love. I love all of you who join us regularly every Sunday. And a big wave of gratitude to Spirit for guiding us so beautifully. And thanks for the love, everybody. I felt that as well. See you back here next week. Have a great one.